Hey guys, it's Samantha Bach, and today I'm going to be telling you guys about the time I asked Mark Lee out to prom. So today I'm going to be telling you basically my Superm Fansign experience. I never really told the story, so you know what? We're going to tell it today. Okay, so in case you don't know who Mark Lee is, he's a part of the group called NCT, specifically in the groups NCT 127, NCT Dream, NCT U. But funny enough, I didn't even meet him through NCT. I met him through Superm because Mark Lee decided to debut once again into this group called Superm. My man loves debuting, so we can't really blame him. So back in 2019, SM announced that they were going to make this new group called Superm, made of all these different groups, which includes NCT, SHINee, and EXO. And I thought that was gonna be amazing, but what made this even extra cool, like for me personally, is that they were going to debut in Los Angeles. And guess who lives in Los Angeles? I was extremely happy with this because, first of all, going to a debut showcase of all containing all these members that I really love, that's like a dream come true, right? So thanks to my friend, she let me know ASAP when tickets went on, and I was able to go to the debut showcase for Superm. And even my sister and my dad went. That was so crazy because I got tickets for them too. My sister wanted to go, and my dad always goes with us to the events, so I thought it was like really cool, and like we had a really good time. Look at that. Oh my God. I know. You're famous, dude. Dad's famous. Like, I thought that was gonna be it. Like, you know, we saw the debut. It was really cool. Like, yeah. But then SM announced that they were going to do fan signs. And like, fan signs in Los Angeles for a K-pop group was so like, it's like amazing because it's especially with all these people that I really admire. So I was like, I have to get into a fan sign. Like, I just like, it would be so cool, you know, to have that opportunity. Unfortunately, they first announced the fan sign in Los Angeles and I wasn't able to get that one. I really wanted to go to the one in Los Angeles, but they sold out, and you know, we can't really complain about it. So I was like, okay, then wasn't meant to be. But then they announced a second fan sign in Long Beach, and I was like, I'm like, Long Beach, I could do Long Beach. This one I especially tried for because it wasn't based on like tickets, because on the first one you had to buy a ticket in order to get your spot at the Superm Fansign in Los Angeles. For this one, you had to personally drive down to Long Beach and purchase one album from there. And if you purchase the album, then you're in. So I was like, I need to go to Long Beach. Thanks to my wonderful sister. She and my dad went down to Long Beach. She took the bus, went down to Long Beach, and she bought herself and me a spot into the fansign. I had to go to class that night. I take this personal class thing, so I couldn't go, but she went for us because she knew how much they really meant to me. So she got us a spot in the fansign. Dude, I was so happy. It was like, oh my God, I was gonna cry. But now I had my happy moment. Then I started to panic because, oh my God, I'm gonna meet someone from Superm. And the thing with the fansign in Los Angeles is that it's not like the ones in Korea. In Korea, you get to meet all the members, but since this one was a first fansign in Los Angeles through Capitol Records, they were like, okay, so how this is gonna work is we're gonna give you an album. You're going to meet one member, so only one member signs your album, and it's randomly too, so you can't choose the person you want. Personally, I'm like, I stand every single group. So I was like, thank God. I was like, because if they were gonna make me choose Taemin or Baekhyun or Mark or Tan, or like, you know, like I wouldn't be able to like do that. So I was like, thank the Lord. And I love every single member of these groups. Like, I've seen all them debut before, Shiny, EXO, NCT. So I was like, oh, each of them hold a really special place in my heart. So I was like, thank you to all the gods. Thank you to God, everyone. So D-Day came and we went down to Long Beach. My sister, my dad, and I went to Long Beach. And okay, so this is where problems arise. If you don't know, my dad, he has Alzheimer's. So we have to keep an eye on him 24/7. My sister and I are the only ones who take care of him. So we take him to all these events. We take him around to everything because we always have to keep an eye out, or else he will wander off and he gets in trouble easily. So we were very worried the entire week before the fan sign because my dad isn't allowed to enter the building if he doesn't have a ticket, and we couldn't get him a ticket because that means he'll meet a member and he'll be alone, and he'll be meeting a member. I don't think that was gonna work out because my dad doesn't even talk. So we were worried, and we made up a plan. We were like, okay, my sister was like, you're gonna go in first because she knows how much they mean to me. So she was like, okay, you're gonna go in first, you're gonna go and you're gonna try get through it as quick as you can, run through the building, you know, get out. And then all this time while she's gonna be waiting, we were gonna wait in line together, she was gonna let all the people in back of her pass forward. She was like, oh, you could go. So that was a plan until I got there and I got my dad, and she went in. So that was the plan. Plans never go as planned. When D-Day came, we had that all set up in our minds. We made line. We came a bit towards the late side because it was such a long way in bus to get there. There was this really long line wrapped around a few blocks down, and you're like, okay, we waited for hours. We waited for a really long time, and this is when things started going bad. People were cutting. People were like, oh my god, people were either cutting, or once they were, what I heard that was going on was that people were passing through, getting their album signature, like going through the fan sign, going out, and either going back to the end of the line to go again, even though that's not allowed, or go back in line with a friend who hadn't gone yet. So they were either in front, so they were probably in front again and passing through and then going over. My sister, my dad, and I were all the way at the end of the line. Like, we were one of the last people to get there, and it was taking way too long. And let's say it was 8:45. Superm was supposed to leave the venue by 8:30, so we were getting really worried because it was overtime and we were still like far end of the line, and we were like, okay, what's going on? We were starting to get worried that we weren't gonna be able to meet them. And so it was really like, oh, this is such like a horrible, not a horrible experience, like very nerve-wracking. So it was getting later and later, and finally we made it close to the entrance, and oh my god, all the staff were very fast-paced. They're like, okay, go, do that. Flash before my eyes. Before you knew it, I got my wristband to enter, and I was up next. And my sister asked the staff if she could wait until I returned. So she explained the entire situation basically, and the staff were like, oh yeah, sure, like, okay, it's fine. So I went in. I was going in. This is my only good part of, this is the only good part of the story. So I got in, yeah. So I was going in, and I was panicking a lot. Actually, I was panicking a lot. I was so nervous, I couldn't even figure out how to open the album. I was like, like, how do you just, I think staff even came up and was like, oh, here, like, hurry, because it was, the members had to leave, and they were trying to get through every single person. I was like, okay. I'm like, let's go. And I was like, okay. I forgot to mention this, but I did not want to mess this up. I did not want to mess this up at all. I wrote down, if I get 10, I'm gonna ask him this. If I get Becky, I'm gonna tell him this. Like, I had everything like implanted in my head on what to do if I got each certain member. So I was like, if I get Mark, I'm gonna ask him out to prom. Okay. So my sister and I had this running gag, and it's basically So I'm 17, and I need a prom date. To sum it up, that's it. But I constantly go to a lot of concerts. I go to like a lot of concerts, and whenever I do high touches, I'm like, oh yeah, I tell my sister, I'm meeting Chan today, I'm gonna ask him out to prom. Like, you know, like that. Like, I'm seeing Hongjin today, I'm gonna ask him out to prom. And it's just a joke among us. But I never actually got to do it, you know. High touches, you don't have that much time to really speak to them. But this time I was meeting a member, so I said, out of a joke, I was joking, I said, if I get Mark, I'm gonna ask him out to prom. It was a 1 out of 7 chance to get Mark. So well, I was inside the music store. I was like, okay, calm down. I was like remembering all the things I had planned to say. I did not want to mess this up. I was nervous, but I was not gonna mess this up because this was a 1 in a lifetime chance. So I was like, okay, let's go. So I had the album in my hands. We were being led through. There was probably like 4 or 5 people with me, like in a group going. Yeah, I think it was like 5 people. And you cannot see anything. Everything was covered with a black curtain. You cannot see anything until the very end, like all the way at the end. And by the end, I mean like the end. So now I was in line, and there was this black curtain and the wall blocking it. The staff lady was like telling the people in front of me, like, I think I was like one of the last people, just telling me like, okay, you're gonna go to 7, you're gonna go to 1, you're gonna go, like, she was telling us that. So she wasn't even telling us the number we're getting. It's like, you go, you check what number it is, they're all numbered, and whoever you get, because it's completely randomized. I was like, oh. And I remember, oh my god, I love that so much. It was so it was my turn, and she was like, okay, go to number 1. And I was like, okay. I'm like, who's number 1? I peeked my head, since it should be the first member there, and oh my god, I like literally relief. It was like, it shouldn't have been, but it was relief. But I don't know, I was really scared I was gonna get like Taemin or Baekhyun, because they're like the top, like they're really like seniors of K-pop. I've seen them do like everything. But when I peeked my head over and I saw that it was Mark at the table, and he was like looking over at me, like waiting for me to come, I just felt so much relief. And instantly I was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh yeah, number 1. And because for him, when I saw him, the instant I saw him, it felt like I was seeing a friend. And I don't know, maybe it's because he's the closest to my age. I'm 17 and he's born in 1999, right? Yeah. And I went up to his table, and I was like, hi. And he was like, hey, his voice. He was like, hey, Samantha. And no, bro, he does not know me. Shows me we're not friends. He was like, hey, like, he was like, hey, like, what's your name? But he said it like, he was obviously doing like in a rush, because he was trying to get as many people to go by. And like, I didn't blame him at all. I was like, I understood. I was like, Samantha, my name's Samantha. Nice to meet you. He was like, nice to meet you, Samantha. And I was like, oh, I was crying, but I was like, no. I'm like, you came here to ask him a question. And like, I knew it. I was like, I had to do it. Like, this is a once in a lifetime chance. When am I ever gonna be able to do this? And I'm 17 too. It wouldn't make sense to ask him next year, because I wouldn't be in high school anymore. It sounds like I'm crying, but my voice is just dying. Sorry. And I was like, Mark, I was wondering if you could go to prom with me. And bro, Mark, what? Mark was like, huh? Because he didn't hear me, and honestly, it made sense. There's a lot of noise there and everything. He was like, huh, what? I was like, prom. I thought he didn't hear that. I was like, prom. And he was like, what about prom? And I was like, he was literally making it so hard for me. I was so ready to just like either die instantly or just forget the entire thing. But I was like, no, we're gonna do it, bro. We made a promise that we were gonna do this, so we're gonna do it. And I was like, I wanted to ask you after prom. But the thing is that these fan signs are like 10-15 seconds long. Like some people spent their entire fan sign experience just spelling out their name. Like, it was really quick, and of course, like, it makes sense, there's a lot of people there. So I was like, oh, I wanted to ask you out to prom. He was like oh, he was like, I've never really been to a prom. And so you guys, now we know he's never been to a prom. I got you that information. And the staff was like getting ready to kick us out. I could feel like our time was almost over, which again makes sense. And then I was like, can I hold your hand? He was like, oh yeah, we held hands. He was like, and I was like, oh, I was like, thank you. I was like, have a good day, because the staff was kicking me out. And he was going on to the next person. He was like, thank you. And yeah, and then it was over. And then I ran out the venue because again I had to get my sister in. So I ran out the venue and I started crying instantly. Like tears. It was real tears. I was crying. Like you couldn't even ask my sister. I was crying so much. And then she was like, who'd you get? Who'd you get? And I was like, I got Mark. And then she's like, did you ask him? And I was like, yes. And then I think when she said that, when she asked that, I felt so like accomplished, because I have social anxiety. I do not talk to anyone. I barely talk to my friends. I don't like interaction. It just makes me like very so the fact that I was able to ask him out to prom, I think it was very like, it made me so overwhelmed. That's why I started crying, because it made me feel very accomplished. I was like, yes, I asked him out to prom. She was like, okay, go take dad somewhere else, like away from the crowd, so because there was too many people. And I was like, okay. I took him and I went to go order him coffee, because that's the only thing that keeps him still. You know how they gave me an album? I was like, what photo card did I get? I opened it and I got Mark. And I started crying again, like full out crying again. I was like, oh. I was really, really happy with the entire experience. Like, even if Mark didn't give me an answer, I didn't really expect an answer either, because he's an idol. He can't take me out to prom. But like, I just wanted it to be something different than like, oh, I love you, Mark, I love you, because I feel like he hears that constantly. So I was like, I just want to be different, you know? And this is when things started turning terrible again. I went outside and everyone was crowded against the parking lot, and I was like, I went outside and I saw my sister was still in line with a lot of people, probably like 60 people still in line. And then I was like, I told her what's going on, and she's like, I don't know, like they told us to just wait here. And I was like, I'm like, but they're leaving right now, because everyone was like, oh, their van is coming. I went towards the van, and sure enough, they passed by in the van and they left. And I was like, and instantly I felt terrible, you know, because I was like, I went back to my sister and I told her, I'm like, they left. And she was like, but we're still in line. And I'm like, oh my god, I felt really bad, you know, because these things always happen to us. We always get cut off. We got cut off for Ellen. We got cut off for so many things. So it was like, it was a really terrible moment. They were standing out there for like, I don't know, 10-15 minutes, and no one was saying anything until eventually a staff let them inside the music store. And I waited out there and I didn't even know what was going on. I was like, did they leave? I was like, in the back of my head, I'm like, no, they wouldn't leave. Like, there were still 60 people still there. I swear, I'm not crying. My throat is just so tired. Waiting for my sister by the entrance, and when she came out, I was like, what happened? And then she started crying. She started crying a lot. And she was like, oh, don't talk to me. And the way that like she just like, you know, she didn't want me to see her crying. And like, oh, later on when she felt better, she was like, oh, they said they had to leave because, you know, their schedules are very busy. And she was like, they're planning to try making up to us, like send us a signed album via mail. And she was like, oh, she's like, I really wanted to meet them. And then she was like, this always happens. And I was like, yeah, it always happens. Like it always happens to us. Like, we don't have good luck. That's why the entire time I was in line, I was like, I'm not gonna meet them, because we're used to it, you know? Like, it always happens to us. It's so crazy. It always happens to us. But we're not gonna end this story very sadly, because that's not how our experience ended. 2 days later, I think, my sister received an email from, I don't know who it was from, but it was for her. It said, oh, we're sorry about the event at at the last fan sign event, Superm is going to have another fan sign, and I know deep down Superm did it for those 60, around 70 people who didn't get through. I know they set it up just for them, but they didn't say that, but I know it was for them. And they were like, oh, Baekhyun and Kai had to go back to Korea because they were promoting for EXO, but we're gonna let you choose who you want to meet. And then she was like, oh my god, it was gonna happen in Orange County. And I was like, we have to go, like this was made for you, like, and all these people. She was like, I'm gonna meet, she was like, who do I meet? I'm like, what do you mean, who do you mean? You meet Taemin. I'm like, that's who you choose. Because oh my god, Taemin, like, we've been with him since debut. We've seen him grow up and everything. I'm like, what do you mean, who do you pick? And she used to listen to SHINee when she was in high school. Back in 2008, like when she was in high school, she would listen to SHINee and all that stuff. But I think she was just like very like, oh my god about it, that she wasn't like thinking about it. And she was like, oh my god, like you're right. So we went down to Orange County a few days, like I think 2 days later. We went down, and she got to meet Taemin. She got to meet him, and I think she asked him how his day was. I was like, you're so uncreative. And I'm like, I asked that Mark out to prom. You should have asked Taemin to marry you. No, I was joking. She was like, are you enjoying Los Angeles and stuff? And she was like, of course. And so that was my Superm Fansign experience and my sister. And wow, it was a lot. It was a lot. Sorry, this video was little like lame. This is my first story time video on this channel, so I hope I did well. I'll look to improve. But yeah, if you like this video, please make sure to leave a like down below and subscribe to my channel, ring that little bell. And yeah, if you want to see more content videos, I'm gonna release a lot of K-pop storytime videos, like the time I hung out with ATEEZ. But I'm also gonna be uploading personal videos that I think would help a lot of people, or maybe influence some people, like how it is taking care of an Alzheimer's patient, my dad, when you're a teen, or my homeless life experience, or like literally I have so many stories. So please stick around and subscribe to my channel because I really want to grow this. So yeah. Make sure to keep up with me on my social media, and I think that's about it, right? I'm so unorganized. I promise I'll do better in the future. Yeah, okay. Well, I hope you guys have a nice day, and lights out. Before I leave, I wanted to show you guys the album. Thank you, Mark, for everything, for being so nice, for everything. And don't worry, you don't have to take me out of prom.